Hello and welcome back to my craft room. I've got a little package to open with you today. I've already gone in to check what it is, so I know what it is, but I've not had a proper look at what's inside. So this is a cross stitch kit that I've been sent by a company called Outdoor Tide. I believe they're based in China and they ship internationally. Obviously there will be a postage cost. I can't speak to what that is. I think if you spend over a certain amount, the postage is free. I do have, they've given me a discount code. Is it a 5%? Let me just check. Yeah, they've given me a discount code that you can use. Apparently it's valid forever, and it will give you 5% off your order, which hopefully would cover the cost of postage, so that's always worth having, and I guess I can use that myself as well. Nothing to stop me doing that. So I'm not hugely into doing cross stitching. I have really enjoyed it in the past, and one of the things that puts me off it is that my eyesight these days, I don't enjoy having to do counted cross stitch, but this company does some. They do a lot of counted cross stitch, and they also do the kind that's printed on the fabric that you're going to stitch into, which makes it so much easier to follow. And I'm going to do, being me, I'm going to do something a little bit different with it, but more about that later. So first of all, I just want to show you a quick look before I forget to do it at their website. So here we go. This is the actual cross stitch design that I've chosen. They also do a lot, as you can see at the top there, a lot of diamond painting, epoxy molds. Let me have a look at that. I didn't look at that. So this is these are silicone molds, aren't they, for doing using epoxy resin or candles, or I think people use them for soaps and all sorts of things, don't they? Never tried much of this kind of thing. Maybe it's something I would like to try, but I've probably got enough hobbies at the moment. Diamond painting is something that I've tried before, but not hugely bothered about doing any more of. They also have painting by numbers and garden decor. I've got a couple of painting by numbers kits to do, so I thought I won't have any of them. I'll get one of these cross stitch kits. They let me choose whatever I wanted up to a certain budget, and it was a massive choice. So if you look there, you can go into cross stitch, and then there's these different brands. Those names didn't mean anything to me, but maybe if you're into cross stitching kits, you'll recognise those names. And then there's large size cross stitch. There's 11 count stamped, 14 count stamped, and 14 and 11 counted. I didn't want counted because, as I say, I find that a bit difficult to do these days with my eyesight, but yeah. And then there's 16 and 18 count as well. I think the higher the count, the finer the fabric, so I believe the one I've chosen is 14 count stamped. I've gone away from it now, haven't I? So this is the one I've chosen. So it's 14 count stamped cross stitch, and it was £10.46. As I say, they send internationally. If you go up to the top there, you can choose whatever your currency is. So US dollars, $12.82. There's Canadian, euros, and I'm not getting a choice coming up for Australia and New Zealand. It might mean it's only available in the States, Canada, the UK and Europe. Yeah, they don't tell me details like that. It does say up there that VAT tax in any area will be borne by us, so you haven't got to worry about any taxes and stuff, which is good. So yeah, that's a quick look at what their website looks like. This is the design that I chose, partly because I love poppies, but also those colours really appeal to me. Now clearly this is not a photograph of the finished cross-stitched piece. This is a photograph of the image that the design is taken from. I'm thinking I might do something a bit different, not do it all in cross stitch, but do it in different types of stitches, do a bit of thread painting, some satin stitch for the stems there, yeah, and just kind of do my own thing with it a bit. They're very large size, these, and I'm thinking if I line it with something, if I back it with something, I can turn it into a wrap for my crochet hooks or a journal wrap or something like that. Let's go to the desk now and actually have a look at the kit. I thought for £10.46, to be honest, I didn't have great expectations because that is really cheap, and to include all of the threads and everything. So I wasn't sure what to expect, whether it would really include all the threads. So I'm really anxious to get in there and have a look. And I guess that's why these companies send things like this out to people like me to show you guys what you actually get for your money, because when you're ordering something from so far away, you feel a little bit wary of what you're going to get. So shall we get in and have a look? Enough waffle Annie already. So this is very typical of the bag. I've had products from other companies similar to this, and this is the kind of bag they always seem to come in. So I would say, you know, there's not a lot of protection here, but for something like this, it's probably not going to come to any harm. If it was something a bit more fragile, one would hope they put it in a box or something. can't speak to that either. Let's get this noisy bit out of the way. On first inspection, I'm very impressed with the amount that you've got there for, was it £10.46 or £10.26? Just over £10, wasn't it? Okay, second noisy bit out of the way. Not too keen on all the plastic. I'll have to find a use for them. Okay, well, on first look, I'm reasonably impressed. Let's put the threads to one side for there's a lot of thread there, isn't it? A lot of thread. Beautiful. Love these colours. Okay, we'll have a better look at that in a minute. Let's see what we've got in here. So instructions for cross stitch. 11 count use 3 strands, 14 count use 2 strands. That's useful information. No outside frame. Keep your hands clean before stitching. Yeah, that is a good tip. It's easy to forget that. Your useful tips there. I'll have a better look at them when I come to actually do it. Instructions for how to actually make the stitches. A whole stitch, whole cross stitch, half stitch, quarter stitch, 3/4 stitch, continuous, back stitch, cast off, French knots. Okay, I'm kind of hoping, because there's plenty of thread there, and if there's enough thread to cover the whole thing with cross stitch, I feel like it'd be enough to cover it with whatever stitch I want to use. I don't necessarily have to do it all in cross stitch. This is my thought at the moment. Do something a bit different with it, and I don't have the room or the, you know, it's not going to fit in here to do a cross stitch piece and frame it and hang it on the wall. So I'd like to turn it into something useful. It'll become the front of a tote bag, or as I said just now, like a journal wrap or a holder for my needles or something like that. When I say needles, I mean knitting needles. This is quite a big piece. So that's the instructions. How to choose the thread colour, read the symbols. That all seems fairly straightforward. Find the centre point of the fabric and stitch from the centre. That's generally what you do with cross stitches, isn't it? You start in the centre and work out. Let's have a look and see what else we get. So this is the chart. Let's have a look at the fabric, and this is what I'm most interested in. Quite really is as big as they say. It's massive. I'll hold this up to the, I'm trying to see which way round it is, where those poppies are. Yeah, I mean, it's at the moment it's quite hard to see how that's gonna look when it's done, isn't it? I mean, that's not the colours it's going to come out. It smells a bit. It's got that weird. It's a certain kind of glue smell to it, but that'll probably go off. Let's go back to the desk again. So yeah, it seems nice enough quality. Let's hold this up close for you. It's not over stiff. It is stiffened. Obviously, it's stiffened. You know that you want it to be really, but it's not over stiff. That's quite nice. It doesn't look like that print's going to kind of come off the fabric or anything, which would be annoying. There's a little tiny thumbnail of the design you're working on. This is going to be the hardest thing, working out what the symbols are. Working out which colours to use. 03. Okay, so I guess that is the number that you'll see on here, and the symbol, and that's the colour of the thread. Yeah, this is saying exactly the same thing. I mean, what would be nice is if I don't have to refer to this at all. I can just, because it looks like I've got exactly the same information here, so I don't have to keep referring back and forth to this. Giving you 2 lots of instructions for printed cloth and unprinted cloth. So if it was an unprinted cloth, I'd need to just refer to that chart, and that's what I can't cope with doing these days. And counting along with, no, I'd much rather have it printed on like this. So this is nice and easy. I've just got to read the symbols or numbers on here. So where there isn't room for a number, you just got to check the symbol. So say it was these here. Say it was this little area here. It's like a little V shape, little pink V shape. Can't see a pink V shape, but I can see a red V shape, so it must be that. Number 39, and that's the number of thread, 3837. And then you've also got these numbers up and down here, but I guess that would be more useful if it wasn't printed on here and you were having to count across you've got this grid of squares to help you counting. But I'm not going to need to worry about that at all. Oh, I'm quite looking forward to doing this because it's going to be I'm not going to have to think too hard at all. Okay, so let's have a look then. I don't think I'm going to need this paper chart at all. It does occur to me that if I wanted to, I could go and buy an extra piece of this fabric and I could use this chart and stitch the whole thing again. I would still have to buy the threads. I think you can buy just the threads from the website as well. And they tell you how to look after it, what to do afterwards. Okay, that's the design I've got, and you can see it's huge. It's absolutely huge. Yeah, it's big enough for a really big kind of journal wrap, like put my whole sketchbook and everything in there. I don't know, or a really nice bag to store fabrics in, something like that. I just want to make something usable out of it rather than just end up with a picture that I'm going to frame and hang on the wall or something. Let's have a look at the threads. Noisy bit number 3. Smell all right? It's a lot of thread, isn't it? It's looking really strange on the camera because these are very dark. You've got quite a lot of dark bits. So that's actually quite a dense black, and this is a sort of deeper, more aubergine colour really. Lots of it, isn't there? It makes me realise how much stitching I've got to do. So there's the numbers of the thread. Number 40, 154, that's going to be 40 as well. Oh, no, that's different. Ooh. No, it's 310. 310. That's probably 40 metres. Yes, it's a lot of stitching to do. This is all going to be for that beautiful kind of glass colour, isn't it? It's a lovely colour. Slightly greener than it looks on camera there. Yeah, both of them are, yeah, really lovely colour. That's obviously, yeah, that beautiful green glass colour. Now let's undo these very carefully. Don't want to mess this up. It's a lot of thread. Wow, it does make you realise what a big task this is going to be. Look at that. Look at these colours. Wow, that is a lot of thread, isn't it? A lot of thread. Oh, that's 2 separate. Okay, I've got 2 separate. Oh no, yeah. So they're all numbered here. So I know what I'm looking for. And I could take the time, rather than leave them like this, I could take the time to wind them onto separate bobbins if I wanted, but I probably won't. Really nice. The thread itself feels nice. Feels quite nice and smooth. Reasonably silky feeling. Yeah. I mean, you know, you kind of feel like it's surely not going to be the best quality thread for this price, but it seems very nice to me. Just, yeah, very happy with that. Oh, I kind of want to start now, but I've got other things I've got to finish really before I start getting into this. It's going to be quite a long project that I'll come back and forth to. I need to have a good look at the design. I haven't got a big printed version of the design. That's the only thing I wish I had. I haven't, have I? No, the only printed version of the design is that little bit there. Could do with. Oh, look at that! It's really durable, this stuff then, isn't it? Kind of non-tear fabric. Oh, it's anything quite like that with fabric paper. So I definitely could, if I loved this, I could definitely just use this chart and do it again, couldn't I? I'm not sure, but you could if you wanted to. So yeah, I might print off. I might go onto the website and print off a larger version of that picture. It's a beautiful picture. And just have a little bit of a think about whether I want to try doing some different kinds of stitching, because I can't see how, if in my mind, if there's enough thread here to cover that fabric with cross stitching, then it's also enough thread to cover it with other kinds of stitching. Maybe not cover it with French knots, like I would not do that, but there's no reason why I couldn't do a bit of satin stitching or thread painting with it instead of doing it all in cross stitch. So I'm going to have a little bit of a think about that, but overall I'm very impressed with that, and I'm very keen to get started, and those colours are just yummy. Yeah, oh, and there's more I haven't looked at. Hang on a sec, just a little extra. There's this little package with the needle and things in as well. So it really is everything you need except a pair of scissors. It says no outside frame. Not sure what that means. Does it mean not to use a frame? A frame would make it easier. I don't often use a frame, but I think for this maybe it would be nice to use a frame. I think I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway. I can't see why not. After finishing the whole pattern, put the cloth in water below 30 degrees for more than 3 hours till all of the pattern disappears. Wash it with clean water again. Right, so that's to make all of this disappear, all of the printed pattern disappear. Okay, well that's a long way down the line yet for me. So let's see what's in this little package. We've got, I think this is like a... Now I've tried all kinds of thimbles, but I've never had one like this. You never know. Maybe this is the one that worked for me. It looks like it's adjustable as well. I might actually even try it. And a little one of my favourite kind of needle threaders. I mean, I've already got some, but you know, it's always nice to have more. Oh, I love that the needles are stuck in this little sparkly pom-pom. That's cute. God, that's plenty of needles, isn't it? Nice. They're like little, what would you call that needle? I was going to say it's a chenille needle, but it's not got the sharp point of a chenille needle. I suppose you don't want a sharp point for working into this kind of fabric. It's just, yeah, it's really nice. Quite a small size, but with a large eye and not too sharp of a point. Really nice. And you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those. That is a cute... I'm going to pinch that idea with putting the needles in a pom-pom like that for next time I put some slow stitching kits together. I think that's a really sweet idea. Okay, well, I think that's all I need to say about that for now. I've still got my little thimble on. I will be back in a little while, in a few days, to make a start on this. I think it's going to be pretty straightforward. It'll just be an awful lot of stitching, so I might come back and show a little bit of how I'm getting on with the stitching and how it's looking, and then I'll come back and show you when I've finished it and I'm ready to turn it into something useful, because that is what I always like to do. And I'll find a nice coordinating piece of fabric to go on the back. Quite excited about this. Thank you very much to Outdoor Tide. I will put I'll put a link in the description box to their website and to this specific kit, and I will also put that discount code. Yeah, I think they said it's valid forever, that discount code, so yeah, handy. So that's it from me. Keep it short and sweet today. I'm still sort of taking it a little bit easy, and just it's nice to have this kind of thing, just something to sit and quietly do with myself at the moment, and yeah, catching up on things a little bit. All sorts of exciting things in the pipeline though, and so I will be seeing you again really soon. Thank you very much for joining me today. Hope you enjoyed that little peek, and I'll see you again really soon.